Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Taking it a little easy today. If you've seen my last video, you saw that I had a little incident in the shop, and I'm getting over that. Not bad, I'm back to work, never missed a beat. Even came back out about an hour after I got sewed up there and came back out and finished that project. And so here we are. We're back on the Impala today. I'm gonna go ahead and finish working on the seat and get it ready to where we can foam it up and get a design made. So you saw where we cut the plywood on the last video for the Impala, and today we're going to tune it up a little bit and get it ready to where we can start putting some foam on it. So let's see how far we can get, and let's get started. All right, so I need to get this backboard up here, and all right, so what I'm doing, I've installed the back of the seat just temporarily with these self-tappers, and I left it up just a little bit here. So I'm gonna take a marker and go across the back of it, and I'm able to cut this straight to where it contours with the body better. Then I'll sand it down, of course. The bottom here of the seat will get cut. When I put the seat foam in here, we'll mark that. That way there'll be a slight separation that'll be covered up when we make the upholstery with the scrim and some of the other foam. They'll be able to slide a seat belt in, and that way the seats will go together and you won't see a gap here. But with this fastened like this, we're gonna make our side pieces here to where it's part of the seat and the foam will be glued to it, and we're gonna make our attachments to where the seat will be bolted in place. And it'll all be bolted in place through the trunk, and you won't be able to see any of the fasteners. It's just like I did the Roadster seat. So let's keep moving forward. All right, so here's the areas right here where the rear tub is, and that's where we want to put some tape over this to where when we do some fiberglass work, it's not going to stick to the tub itself. It'll only stick to the rear seat panel. Plus, we need to find a spot to where we can put our lag bolts through to where we can hold this seat firmly against the firewall for the rear of the car. So let's do that. Let's drill some mounting holes for that, and then we'll start glassing this up. All right, so I know you guys can't see from over there, but can you hand me that tape? Oh, thank you. Anyway, there's some bracing that runs right behind this board, and we're going to utilize that to hook this back seat to it. So what I've done is we've got the seat temporarily in its place. And from the top right here to the bottom of the tray in the trunk, I measured 15 inches. So we know we've got, let's just say 14 inches to work with so that we won't hit anything. So we're gonna go ahead and mark 14 inches right here. And I know that the brace, the center of that brace is right here. And the center at the bottom right there. All right, so what I'm going to do is run the tape across here. Down to 15 inches. And we're going to try to stay in between here and that 14-inch mark. We'll put a stud here and a stud here, and we'll use the furniture. I'm not sure what they call those. It's kind of like a weld nut for a car, but in furniture, it bites into the wood and it sinks in place. Not really sure what they're called, but they've got them down the street at Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Lowe's. I'll use that, and we'll make it to where we can be able to come in from behind and grab a hold of that, and you won't feel it through the foam. But what we'll do is I'll put a stud in that threaded rod in that slug there, and then on the back side we'll push the threaded rod through that support. We'll put a washer and a nut on the back of it. That way it'll be flush mounted with the wood and you won't feel it through the foam. The foam's going to be about 3 inches thick, and it's high density foam. You never feel it unless you were that princess that slept on the mattress with a pea under it. Somebody pee on their mattress? You know what I mean. Anyway, let's mark the other side, and then we'll drill some holes through here, and that's where the threaded rod will go. All right, so now this is where we're going to use to mount the seat. I promise you it's going to be overkill. The seat's not going to move, and it's going to be better than factory. Now, we're not going to worry about the bottom right yet. We're just going to worry about the top, and then we'll get that trim. So now I'm going to mark along the back. Got something in my mouth there. I'm going to mark along the back to where we know where we're going to sand or where we're going to trim all the way across. So let me get that marked, and then we'll move to the next step. All right, fixing to drill my holes to put my studs in, but I want to show you what I used to use. This would go against the back right here, and then this would be in the trunk. Your seat doesn't need a lot of pressure on it to hold it in place. As long as you drill the holes the same size as the stud, it's going to hold it in there. There's going to be 4 of these. I don't use these anymore. They're hard to find. And what I was telling you actually that I use is actually thinner than this back right here. And it will allow the stud to be in place and not move. Therefore, when you put a wrench on this end, when you're tightening it up, your stud won't spin. So that's one reason I don't use these anymore. Hard to find. They cost just a little bit, and I just found a cheaper, easier way to do it. So let's get these holes drilled. All of them are marked, and then we'll move on to the next step of how I do it. I'm just going to show you this. We're under a tornado watch right now, or warning actually. So I'm not going to get what I need from the hardware store. These right here, if you can see that, would slide right in there and tighten up, and then our foam would go on top of it. Now the what I'm using now, I'll show you later. You won't be able to see from this side. So that's what holds your seat in. There's going to be 4 of those on the back, and then we'll glue the foam to it, and of course we'll have the upholstery and everything on it, and then you'll slide the seat up in there, bolt it in from the trunk, and you're good to go. And then of course we'll do the trunk, and you won't see anything in there either. So anyway, let me get this secured so that I can go ahead and go to the next step and start doing some glass work. All right, there's the inside of the trunk, and you can see the stud coming through, and then we'll put a nut and washer on that, and that's where we measured to 14 inches. So if we'd gone any further, we'd have made it hard to get a nut on it. And of course, we dropped off at the top, and you see up there where the hose coming through for that. So, gotta get some hardware. Sorry about the background noise. We have got tornado warnings all around us right now. And it's thunder booming outside, and I'm still working. So trying to get some stuff done. What I'm doing here is putting on a layer of tape so that the fiberglass will not stick to the wheel tub. And the purpose of the fiberglass is to allow us to build the foam out on this seat to go all the way across. The foam will be cut on the back, so it'll be smooth across the front and the upholstery will be smooth, but there will be a tub behind it. Now you won't be able to feel this when the seat's done. The seat will be thick enough to where that's all hidden in there. But the fiberglass is to glue the foam to and to glue the upholstery to on the back side. I've got some heavy mat, and that's what we're going to start with. And I'm going to lay this out, cut some sections of it off and lay it out on here and staple it in place until we can slap some resin on it. Some of you guys may react a little different to fiberglass. I mean, it bothers me. You don't want to breathe in fiberglass if you're grinding it, but what I'm doing here is pretty thin, or pretty thick, long strand glass. All right, so as you can see, I've got both sides roughed in with a glass mat, and now I go mix up some resin and we'll start soaking it down. And as it soaks down, we'll lay another layer on top of that. But that's probably 3 or 4 layers of glass. The thing is, you got to make sure it gets soaked in. It's going to be different with every application, every car you do. This is all different, but this is just giving somebody an idea of some tips and tricks of how I get it done. Well, I hope I get this done today. It's a bummer when you buy the stuff by the gallon. It took me forever to get the top off, and now you can see that fiberglass does work. And I'm not sure why this set up, because there's no hardener. About 3 inches or so. And I think it's soft, except for what I'm getting to, so. I think this is going to be the end of this can, so I'm going to go ahead and try to punch a hole in the side of it. I may be having to go in here in a little minute anyway, because it's starting to really get bad outside. Look at there. This might be the last time we get to use this, so. Honestly, I've never had any of this go bad. I have to put another hole in it so it'll come out. But anyway, I've never had any of this go bad on me, and I don't use it very often. Fortunately, I don't get to work on Corvettes and stuff like that. But let me get some of this mixed up, and we'll see if we can't get some of it painted on before the weather gets bad. So I'll be right back. be just fine and dandy. Lay another layer under it and we'll be fine and dandy. And I've still got the other side to do. But I've got to get some more hardener, and that is going to be tomorrow. So, all right, guys. So I got my fingers crossed today that this is going to tomorrow. And it was too thick. Shouldn't have done it. Okay, so it's the next day. The first side hardened up really well from the fiberglass resin. As you can see down in there, it wasn't lumpy, but it is very, very thick. So I went down, got a new can of resin. All right, so this is the side that we did the other night. Of this stuff at O'Reilly's is about $68. And that's the side I just did. This little pint you know, they sell this resin as a gel. So it's nothing different than what I had actually thrown this away. And when I saw the price, I can't. But anyway, give this a day or two, and it's going to be hard. And then we're ready to trim off the bottom and start laying some foam in. And then we got to figure out how we want to do the bottom, how we want to secure the bottom. And remember, however we do that, and I'm still thinking how I want to do it in this car, but however we do it, we've got to imagine that we did it with upholstery on it. And you want to be able to get it in and out. Not really, but you know, just in case you do want to get it out, you've got to be able to get to the access. So let's think about that. Think about how we want to do our sides and the rear panels, and then we'll start laying some foam out. But that's going to be in the next video. So this is step 2 of making the back seat for the Impala. We're going to have some more giveaways. Well, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. We've got a lot more to come.